our division has 3 goals that are stated. We stated at the beginning of last session, and that's continued through this work. And those 3 goals and objectives are, number 1, to reduce debt for our students, number 2, to increase completion rates for our students, and number 3, to do what we can to provide workforce development so that we meet 21st century workforce needs. And so with this bill, with regard to the debt, Mr. Fuller talked about the Office of Higher Ed being able to refinance loans, and currently many of our students are paying 7, 8, and above % interest rates. By giving the Office of Higher Ed the ability to do this, currently they offer financing through the self-loan program, but there's a federal prohibition on the self-loan program. They're not allowed to market this. And so even though students could get more advantageous loans through that program, that they're restricted from advertising this. By offering this ability, I think we can do something for our students with regard to lowering the cost of their debt. And that, coupled with the Miller provision, whereby we can work on the transferability of credits, I think we really use this bill to further those goals. With regard to increasing completion, I would cite a couple things. One is the insertion of the Senator Cohen provision with regard to College Possible, because College Possible actually takes our juniors and seniors in high school who are most at risk for either not attending based on several risk factors, or if attending, them not completing. And they have a track record whereby 95% of the low-income at-risk students that they put through their program, and they follow them all the way through college, 95% of them complete college. And so by supporting that, coupled with, again, I would point to the transfer provision, I think this bill does increase our ability to fulfill that objective. And then finally, some of the things that I'm most excited about within this framework are the things with regard to the workforce. Having the workforce initiative as part of the higher ed is new, and so it's taken us some time to build that. But we spent some time in the committee looking at all the various workforce development funds. There's actually $50 million a year spent on workforce development funds, as Senator Tomasoni knows. We had the DEED commissioner and staff come and present those to us, and then within this bill, we have put forward a requirement that we have more accountability, that we understand where those funds are going, what are we getting for those, so that we can actually step back and look at, is this the best use of our money? And then the pilot project that Mr. Fuller talked about is called the pipeline project, and what that is, it's an attempt to take the workforce track program that exists right now. And so, for example, in Germany, where 70% of the students are partnered with industry as they enter college, trying to look at a Minnesota model of doing just that. And so pipeline stands for private investment, public education, labor industry experience. We've picked 4 industries that have emerging either growth potential or shortage areas, and we've said that we want advisory councils to develop what would competency standards look like if we were to develop programs where we could do those types of, quote, apprenticeships, but we're calling them pipeline projects. So that gives you kind of the context for why the bill's in the shape it's in.